guys, I'm in the game as well.
Yeah, this is a push. S4 has another bottle charge and some sticks as well. They got the sustain coming out of the dazzle, and Wisp will surely make it to the fight after the pickup of the bounty rune at bottom. This is a Rax. They can't hold this Rax push. I don't. Oh, that is if they go for it, of course.
Yeah, Loda pops the war cry and back in he goes. Onto the tier 3. Now Bulldog, he's got what, level 1 Necro Book. He's looking pretty good, but Orchid is done for the Queen of Pain. So S4 has a 12.5 minute Orchid. With Tread's null
7.5k net worth. Yeah, 1230.
What?
That's a farmed Queen of Pain if I ever seen one. They're gonna Rosh now instead. They're just saying, okay, well they're all up, it's nighttime. Let's just go Roshan. They can't fight us anyway.
In they go. Man, oh man. So SNY for Loda, Nuts has earned 1300. And Arcane, you know, the guy that rarely gets a good chunk of farm, has Arcanes and a little bit of gold saved up himself. But Team Alternate, are we sure about this one? They're running towards the pit. Anti-Mage cannot fight. Anti-Mage is up at top farming, so this is going to be a 4v5 at best. With the Tombstone level 3, maybe they can make this work, but there's so much sustain. There's Whiff, there's Dazzle. Dazzle's starting stuff though. They need to heal him, they need to keep him alive with the Tornado EMP there. They'll burn through the Dazzle and actually take him down, but Queen of Pain is blinked up onto high ground, stunned, slowed, silenced, and the heal comes in from Wisp, keeps him alive for now, and he's finished off. Wicked Six Streak stolen out there on Loda. He's left alone against a bunch of heroes and Team Alternate. They're actually winning this one out. They'll lose the Undying for it, but getting a couple of kills and a buyback from Quop, who TP's back down to kill off someone over to the side. Invoker, Ghost Walk ready. Runs himself away, and there's no reveal just now. That won't be coming.
My nuts should have relocated S4 there, and S4 would have just lived and trimmed on them entirely without the buyback, but I guess it's fine. Again, they realized that they could take the fight at Roche, but that positioning was kind of poor on Alliance because they didn't have any vision whatsoever. Like, they didn't put a ward outside the pit either. So the smoke sort of caught them off guard, even though it shouldn't have. Regardless, the result is the same. Bulldog got the Aegis, and I don't think that's the ideal hero that they wanted it on, but everybody's so farmed. They're just going to push high ground with it when Bulldog gets book 3. And he's got it, basically, yeah. He actually just got the tier 3 tower with a boar. And Necrobook. So, he's got...
The little minions taking down tier 3.
Or relocate top to the AM. He's dead.
Oh, man. Oh, man. With the Orchid. It's just too simple for S4. So they've lost their tier 3 bot, they've bought an armlet over on the Night Stalker. And they're going to go for another smoke here, it looks like. Yep, smoke on the courier. It's getting desperate for Team Alternate now.
Yeah, this is like, they're just going to go for this, and then if they lose, I think they're just going to call the GG. They don't really have a follow-up play. It's nighttime. If they can't make use of this time, the next 16 to 20 minutes, when it's daytime, they're not going to get anything done.
Boots of travel on the Wisp, but it's not going to help you in this situation. Tombstone's drop, Nuts is dead. With the right clicks out from the Invoker, Zombie slowing him down. And meanwhile, Arcane and Loda, they're looking to maybe turn this one back around. Bulldog has Necro 3 and Roar available, and S4 was running himself down as well, but it's a minute and a half until Sonic Wave is back up. I'm wondering, do they just go charging down middle lane now?
On the side of Alliance, I think they can. I'm not sure if they want to, but they certainly can. The Wisp has like 4 Urn charges and bots, as you mentioned, so she's just gonna come mid and heal up this event. Nothing stopping them whatsoever. This AM is just, he's way too shy of his farm to be relevant in any of these fights. And so it's Alliance with Aegis is gonna be fighting like 6v4, and with their farm advantage, you might as well call it like a 8v4 kind of thing.
Oh, that's annoying. Loda has no mana remaining, but Wisp is gonna bring himself back up to this one, so Nuts. Yeah, tethers up and keeps Loda flowing, but this Undying, he's got a buckler, nothing much else, a little bit of armor, he's level 6, 15, 16 minutes into this game. And if we look at levels overall, you know, the Dire have a pretty massive advantage. They've got 2 heroes closing in on 11 in the Sven and Beastmaster. Actually, they're just hit level 10, but the gap isn't that big between 10 and 11, that's 600 XP difference. While Invoker, Orchid, it's still a pipe dream for him.
Oh, they're really backing off on this. Bulldog's up here trying to hunt the AM instead of
trying to kill Sasu. It's not quite enough. The relocated bot nearly had him, but the relocate's going to come back. EMP. They bring Sven in. They're going to die for this. There's a weave, but no grave from Arcane. They lose Nuts IO.
Oh, do you see top? Bulldog was trying to do this the whole time. He was hunting the anti-mage. I think he got him. Yeah, he got him, but... See, like, this is, I don't know about this one. He's the one with the Aegis, and the AM is already so shut down that they could just push, and the Wisp would have never had to die, and they could just force base. I don't know why they're splitting up, trying to look for the Sandy Mage right now. I think it's pointless.
He's got no farm, and really all you're
Yeah,
doing
like
is...
they could just push in middle and then walk down to bottom. And once they position up the hill, the Undying is not high level enough to be impactful even with max Tombstone. The Tusk just has shards and Invoker has like no farm. They should really have closed out the game right there, I feel like.
Alliance taking it a little bit slow, a little bit steady. Hyperstone on Loader, but following it up with a BKB, it looks like he's worried. He's feeling the heat from this Invoker EMP. It's very annoying to handle, honestly. And RK is kind of the same.
It is. Wisp is definitely the counter though. You just have Wisp mana boots and RK has one, so you'll just get all the mana back basically. Their sustain is really good when they're together. The issue is that they weren't together because they were all off doing their own things. And I think the result is that this Aegis is going to be useless for Bulldog now because he's just playing this hunter role kind of thing where he's just looking for a kill. He has Roar now, and I think they have a boar in position too, so they're going to try to scout out the Invoker, but he goes into Ghost Walk, so they won't be able to find him.
Well, they see the Hawk. They know they're being watched, and Bulldog had full vision of the people coming across, and they're going to get this Observer Ward as well. Sentry's ready for Nisha. He's not going to be able to take that one out. Now, Roshan respawns in a fair amount of time, 5.5 minutes or so. S4 shoving hard down at bottom lane, but Loda is farming enemy jungle, so they are definitely taking this super slow. Do you think they wait for next Roshan even?
I don't know. I don't think they have to, but it's like if you want to play it safe, the best thing always is to just wait for next Roshan when you have total map control, and they do have map control. The only issue is alternate attack can definitely do what they did earlier, just smoke in with a darkness on Night Stalker, and that's always really effective at the pit because even if you might have superior fight at the pit, if you don't have vision, you can't do anything. And Night Stalker darkness just happens to shut down all forms of vision very effectively.
Oh, they're doing a good job of de-warding. Nisha taking out observers and sentries left and right. While Supreme, yeah, the Orchid. Oh, can they hunt down S4? They've got vision of him. They actually got a little peek of him there with the sentry. Seeing the Invoker in that Ghost Walk. And you want to go hunting with the Invoker. Once you get this Orchid up, just go hunt people down. Tornado, EMP, Cold Snap, kill them off, get the combo in there. And it's difficult. You know, heroes like Dazzle, okay, you can try and bring them down, but Sven, Queen of Pain even, are now building into a BKB, and the Beastmaster, who's pretty damn tanky. It's not as easy as you may think, just going around killing people. And Wisp is always going to be paired up with someone. So maybe if you loop around with the rest of your team actually going in for the full frontal assault, you can find someone in the back, but you can't go and do like you're mentioning Bulldog's doing in that solo hunter role, just finding pickoff after pickoff.
Mm-hmm. They see the Night Stalker. He has Blink. I thought he was actually gonna go right there, but they're shying away from it, saying it's darkness. We don't see any of their heroes. Be a turnaround, and I think it's acceptable to have that kind of respect at this point. They did give away a couple kills and could be pretty dirty.
Well, Anti-Mage Claymore just needs 900 gold for his Battle Fury completed. But 20 minutes, it's getting later and later. Oh, Supreme, have you been spotted? The Lights are on the hunt, and they, I think they know they caught a sniff of him, but he's going to keep himself far from the creep wave, not give away his position. And the BKB is nearly done up for Loader now, so once they've got that up and running, they can maybe start charging towards them. Hawks, boars, everything in the kitchen sink given vision here for Alliance. Anti-Mage just trying to find that one little spot to farm in. But there isn't anywhere to go. Alliance are grouping up at top, and they've got the relocate to come in as well, so if they see one hero, anyone they can jump on. But Alternate, they've done a good job the past, 4 or 5 minutes or so, really after the Roche fight that they took, forcing Alliance into an uncomfortable situation. They've got control of their jungle again a little bit. They can move out of their base, maybe even cross the river, because there's tier 1 standing. That's gold waiting to be collected.
Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate though that the Night Stalker had to show himself in the process. I think the reason why Alliance is on the other side of the map is because they saw Night Stalker at bottom and said, we had the Wisp Sven there, and we don't really want to take a head-on engagement without the relocate fight, where they have the initiations coming in from Bulldog and Quap and stuff like that. So I think they're just gonna wait for the next Roshan. It really looks like they're going to.
Yeah, looks like it. Undying. Oh wow, he's completed a mech. Where's he got this gold from? All of a sudden, from having a buckler and brown boots, fully completed mech. No arcanes though, so mana sustain is going to be a little bit difficult. But Team Alternate Oh, whoops. They're dragging themselves back out of this hole they dug for themselves. You know, 8,000 net worth on your Night Stalker, heading quickly into the Aghanim Scepter even without a Midas, and his armlet. You know, we've not seen great armlet toggling or anything like that, but it's a decent enough, just small, you know, smallish item that helps you farm, helps you run around, and just gives you a little more team fight capability. It's nothing amazing, but it's good sort of gold to effectiveness.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of it personally. I can see its effectiveness as well. S4 actually is one of the proponents of the armlet Night Stalker back when he used to play it very frequently. And I think Universe does it too now, because they play from the offlane position, and as a 3 you do need to do some sort of damage, and of course Armlet is very effective cheap damage. So that's the reasoning for the pickup, I think.
SNY BKB loaders ready. Boot to travel still on this Wisp. Kind of interesting that he hasn't really been able to progress too far from it. But with 1,300 gold, I guess a Glimmer Cape, something along those lines, isn't too far away. While Medallion for Arke, and they're just really starting the chokehold again. You know, they let slip for a couple of minutes while they were trying to push top and find picks on the AM or the Invoker. And I think Invoker did a great job making them go on this wild goose chase. You know, they chased him around and around, and they just couldn't find him as he TP'd himself away.
Yeah. Despite the fact that his farm got halted for a bit, he actually did make space for what you said, so it was pretty decent. They need a lot more of those to happen, and I don't think Alliance is going to give them that time though. You see nighttime, it's 3 a.m, so in about 1.5 minutes time, in game time, it's going to be daytime. And Roshan's going to spawn within the next minute as well. So that means with the next Rosh, Alliance is probably going to push bottom lane, where they don't have a tier 3, and nighttime is going to be over. So the only thing they can rely on now is darkness, and Night Stalker might have Axe by that point, which would be really good. So what would happen is at the base push, he has the darkness, and they have to win fight. And I'm not sure, I'm not confident in their ability to win the fight against these BKBs, newly picked up on Sven as well as the Quap and the Aegis, of course.
Yeah, as long as Alliance can hit their spells, land their stuns, and Sonic Wave is going to be, you know, imperative, obviously, as it always is, but getting it down onto the AM or the Invoker. You know, Tombstone they're not too worried about. It can be a little bit annoying with a level 4-1 up now, but a couple of hits from the Dazzle, the Queen of Pain, the Wisp even, and it drops pretty quickly. So, like you said, Roshan with a Medallion. Quick and easy, no
and
contest.
It's daytime, yep, so the timing is perfect for them. They're gonna darkness, and again, the first darkness has to accomplish something. When they push base, if they don't do anything about the if they don't do anything with the darkness, they're just gonna lose a second and third rack as well, and it's gonna be GG for sure. This AM still, he's not nearly farmed enough to be an impact. The most important kills for Alliance right now are definitely the Tusk and the Invoker, because those are the only ones that can hold out the lanes by pushing them out and keeping them off the high ground. Again, with those heroes gone out of the picture, there's no way to defend high ground here.
Yeah, bonus armor, the weave comes out. Loader is definitely a monster right now. And even with the glyph up, Team Alternate, if they use it here, it's probably going to be a waste, because they're losing these racks anyway. So hold it for one of your other tier 3s, which is, Dire Structures 4 to 5. So EMP going to catch? No, not going to get anybody. Anti-Mage pushing up at top, and the TP comes in from S4.
Oh, wow.
And he blinks himself
They actually
away.
ported. Oh, did they relocate? Yeah, they relocated to try and catch the AM. I mean, that's okay, because he's gonna go straight back, I assume. I don't think they should halt their push in any way, and here's the timing. The darkness hasn't...
Well, Tombstone's down, it's stacking up with Nuts getting the Manifold enemy still alive, but Bulldog gets thrown into the air. Loader. He's still got his BKB in with a Warcry forward. He'll catch Supreme. Here comes a Scream Sonic Wave onto Nisha as well. And they'll clear him up. Nuts healed, graved, and Sasu with the armlet on. He'll do a good chunk of damage across the Nuts, but it's not going to be enough to finish him off. And Sasu is retreating out as Quap kills off the Tusk at the bottom with the DD rune. And with no buyback on your Tusk, yeah, Invoker could be forced to actually pop his, but it's going to be annoying. You've got your Glyph available, but Anti-Mage, this hero, Battle Fury, 1800 gold, you cannot fight.
That's right. Yeah, so the two most important heroes are out of the picture, and this is what happens. Alliance just walks up to high ground. They don't care about anything else right now, because their creeps cannot die, which means their heroes cannot die. This is the second racks for sure.
Well, 26 minutes in, 2 lanes of racks, Team Alternate on the ropes definitely, and they could potentially go for a third here, but looks like Alliance just going to back themselves up with no mana left on the Wisp, and half mana on your Dazzle. The sustain you get from these heroes is pretty vital in sustaining these pushes, so not going to risk anything. And of course, top lane is by their tier 2. Bulldog gets himself up there with his Necro 3 and drums. So he got Necro 3 Blink drums. Interesting.
He's just getting whatever item he can with the gold that he has right now to close out the game. But at the same time, I think I would have preferred a Vlad's pickup. I think Vlad's is really, really good, not only on Beastmaster, but for their team in general. It helps the Queen as well as the Sven sustain much better, and it gives them more armor, so... But Drum's not bad. Again, the Drum pop charge on the 25 attack speed is really good right now.
Okay, just go and end. Let's go and finish off the tier.
Yeah, they're gonna close out the game. I really didn't feel like they had to pour top for the AM. I don't know, like he's completely useless, and if they see him pushing, split pushing, they're just gonna take everything else in the meantime. They cannot fight against the Aegis on the side of alternate attack.
In jumps S4, Orchid, Shadow Strike start things off, and Supreme, he's going to be able to Ghost Walk here, most likely. Yep, healed up and Ghost Walks out with the shards, blocking a little bit onto Alliance. But this isn't going to stop them.
Man.
He's like Supreme has to go back and heal. He's going to spend a good, 7 or 8 seconds healing himself up and then run back. And also the fact that he has, Tornado EMP. Okay, they're ready now. So he invokes them back up, but Invoke is on cooldown. So Cold Snap maybe going to be a little bit delayed as the BKB from S4 Roar. Nisha's caught and the mana's just gone. Even with that Tornado EMP, they're going to stop the supports on the back, but Loader, Sonic Wave from S4, and they're all dead. Invoker can buy back, but GG is called. The anti-mage is in the thick of things, but he's being demolished, can't even kill the Wisp. And Alliance take game number 1.
Yeah, I think this was like the prime example of a tri-lane gone wrong and losing the game as a result. That Undying, the 2 deaths, honestly, it really does like change how the entire game is played out. Because with an anti-mage, they have to win that lane or at least go even and not lose the tower, so AM has a place to farm in the game. And as you can see, this AM, he had absolutely no space on this map to farm, even though Alliance didn't have the biggest amounts of catch between the Dazzle and the Wisp supports. What happens is when they roll over the lane like that, you just don't have a lane to sit on. So I think Alliance just played to a strat very nicely, and they got a little lucky, I must say. Like, again, the 2 deaths on Undying, it just should not happen like that.
Well, Sven basically cruised through that game. 11-0-7. Loader, absolute beast on that hero. But yeah, game number 1 goes the way of Alliance. We'll be back in a little while, guys, with game number 2. I can't remember if Danish TV are covering game number 2, so we might have to wait for their time slot, but I'll find out for you guys and see when we get game number 2 starting up. So yeah, a little break for now, but we might have a longer one for Danish TV to kick in.
You won't ever change your ways, doing what you do. Well, you can keep on talking, talking. No, they don't mean nothing, nothing. The same old thing again.
Take my hand and we'll go away to a different place. Float on air and we'll hide away. I'll be your escape. Look up and feel the shifting winds tossing us around again. Hold tight, get ready to begin. And just levitate. No control over where we go, but we don't care to know. Ignorance is bliss. Your tears are gone, and they drifted back from where they came, and they will not be missed. Look up and feel the shifting winds tossing us around again. Hold tight, get ready to begin. And just levitate.
Turn to ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Welcome back, guys. A little break it was indeed, about half an hour, but we're ready with game number 2. Alliance up against Team Alternate. We'll head into the draft and find out what's going on here. Clairvoyance had some things that he had to go and do, but I'll be here. I'll take you through. Now, in-game sounds, where have you gone? There we are. There we go. Alliance's turn to ban. Now, Nature's Prophet. First picked up by Alliance along with the Tusk. Team Alternate still sticking with the Anti-Mage, this time going with the AM Tusk, AM Undying, rather than the Undying Tusk that they had in the last game. But Alliance sticking to their guns, banning out the Shadow Fiend in the first phase, knowing that Team Alternate do like to run that hero. And also taking out the Wisp. Now, Alliance made decent use of the Wisp in the previous game, but Team Alternate, they play a pretty mean Wisp Tiny themselves. It's something that really has propelled them to the status that they're at right now. You know, they're sort of like a mini Vega. The way I look at them and their squad, they love the tiny Wisp, but they're pretty good at just sort of trying to get map control as long as they get strong lanes. And with an Undying, yeah, you're gonna get decent lanes. Last game he did give away a couple of kills, a couple of deaths here and there, which wasn't really too great. But if they're taking out the Dazzle, taking out the Sustain, and they've banned out S4's Queen of Pain as well. Alliance, you don't want this. I don't want this Team Alternate attacks lineup to just keep running them down. So they take out the Night Stalker. And I'm wondering if a second phase Invoker ban wouldn't be too out of place. It's annoying, it's hard to handle sometimes, but AM plus Invoker, there's this kind of overlap with when you need to make space and when you need space made for yourself. An Anti-Mage, very early on in the game, you know, he needs to be farming up for the first 12, 13 minutes or so to get into his treads and Battle Fury, but instead, they ban out the Bane and go with a Venomancer. Interesting stuff. Early game aggression, you can take down Undying's Tombstone and Plague Wards and a few hits from Veno, but interesting stuff. Straight out there. So they've got Nature's Prophet for Bulldog offlane. They've got Tusk, which is, I'm assuming, Nuts over on the support role. Venomancer. Not sure where that's heading, though. You know, we've seen a lot of people running in the core role, mid, safe lane. Could be support as well, but we have to see what's going to be happening with that. I think give Lotus something a little bit more traditional, you know, a little bit more sort of tanky, brawly, one of the melee carries. And Team Alternate, they go back for the Winter Wyvern, a little bit more lockdown there. And Winter's Curse, and also laning potential. You know, you're guaranteeing Anti-Mage has some farm time. And just get him into that Battle Fury, because last game was like 22-minute Battle Fury. Something like that, which really wasn't what he was aiming for. Really wasn't what he was aiming for. That's Alliance. They're thinking hard about this. There are numerous ways you can actually go now. You can have safe lane Nature's Prophet, you can run him off lane. I'm not sure how he fares too well against an Anti-Mage plus, you know, a dying Wyvern lane. It's going to be rough for him up there. So maybe you run Tusk Prophet up at top. There's definitely potential just to try and, you know, zone people out, have that fighting happening over the first 3 or 4 minutes or so. Control runes a little bit better as well. Gonna make sure they haven't disconnected. So taking a sweet ass time over this one. There we go. One of those brawly melee, you know, a little bit tanky heroes for Loda. So Juggernaut going to be the early game carry there. Obviously, he does scale pretty decently with his crit. His Omni Slash, ever useful though, and that's what you've got to really aim for with the Juggernaut. It's getting to level 11 and utilizing Omni Slash as often as you possibly can. Against the Wyvern, interesting though. You know, physical damage against the Cold Embrace, but Magnus, okay. Team Alternate. Straight in there, Empower very early on, and if you don't get your Battle Fury straight off the bat with the Anti-Mage, you've got Empower to fall back on and farm through the camps, but that's a lot of reliance on big teamfight ultimates. Winter's Curse, Reverse Polarity, and Tombstone getting dropped down. So Alliance, complete opposite pretty much, you know, short cooldown abilities. The Juggernaut Omni Slash is going to be annoying, that you have to kind of rely on that long sort of two minute cooldown, whatever it is. Around 2 minute cooldown, 130, 120, 110. But they've got Treants, they've got Split Push, they've got a ton of heroes just to go and run towards Team Alternate's towers with Plague Wards and Treants. And then they've got good initiation from the Tusk as well. Final hero is still technically up in the air. I think it's going to be mid S4 Venomancer, Juggernaut safe lane, Tusk support role. And the last one going to be Arcade Hero, Keeper of the Light potential. But I'm not too sure. You know, Sustain would be good with a Witch Doctor or something like that. It could be Arcade Venomancer, the ban out with the Bat Rider there from Team Alternate. S4, his bat is still a threat to behold. The Lions are starting to run out of time.
Reserve time.
Starting to run out of time. Team Alternate, what could they go for though? Still yet to see which hero's going where. You know, Magnus, I think, goes towards the middle lane. We very rarely see offlane Magnus nowadays. Winter Wyvern support. Undying, maybe the support hero as well. So offlaner, I think Darkseer was a good shout by Alliance. The combo with the Vacuum into Winter's Curse RP, great for them, obviously. But there aren't that many options left. There's Clockwork for Sasu, which is probably what they're aiming at. But then you've got 4 melee heroes running into Juggernaut, Dragonite, Tusk, and that Venomancer as well. So it looks like it will be Ake on the Veno, not on the Tusk. And S4 mid Dragonite. With his Bat and Queen of Pain both banned out. And okay, it's a Timbersaw. So Timbersaw offlane. Pure damage, pretty good up against Jugger and Dragonite. And clear through creep and stop the push coming in. But this is such a high skill cap hero. My goodness. Is it going mid? Because Sasu's picked up the Magnus and could be going towards the offlane, so something we don't see often at all could actually happen here for Team Alternate. Supreme, play the mid lane Timbersaw. Let's see it happen against the Dragonite. You know, mid Timbersaw, we saw it here and there. I think S4 played it a couple of times himself, about a year and a half ago, if that. But there are very few trees. You know, you rely very heavily on your Whirling Death, your reactive armor to keep yourself just trucking through and get the damage down onto Dragonite. But if you can land Whirling Deaths, you know, it's going to annoy the DK. You come in with Arctic Burn, you zone him out, you control the lane. But Venomancer as well as Tusk can do this as well. They can turn things around very quickly onto the Timbersaw. Laning phase, going to be important here for Team Alternate. Very important. If they've got a snowballing Timber, they've got Anti-Mage who needs to farm himself up. And then they've got this Magnus who needs a Blink Dagger. So there are lots of heroes here that need key items at key times. You know, Battle Fury by 16 minutes or so really is what they're aiming for. Timbersaw, Bloodstone, I guess, has always been the key snowball item for him. As well as we've seen like Rod of Atos Timber when he goes towards the middle lane. We've seen Blink Embers straight off the bat and things like that. Even like Yule's Ember. But Bloodstone is what you aim for. Blink, Timbersaw, of course. Undying and Winter Wyvern, they're less item reliant than the rest of their team. They just need levels. They need levels. They need to keep playing aggressively, get their spells off. But over on the Radiant, what do we need? Like a Shadow Blade for S4, maybe? Just needs to tank himself up. Loader, stats build. Admiral Bulldog, Midas into, you know, Aghanim Scepter, Octarine Core, things like that, I guess. But Ake and Nuts, they're kind of in a similar boat to the Dire supports as well. Their skill sets allow them to fight relatively early on. They don't necessarily need too many items. They don't need a ton of gold. They don't need to farm up a lot. They can stack up a ton for their core heroes just to build themselves up like that. But let's see. Exotic Deer, 12 tangos? Are you sure? just buys a ton of tangos. Yeah, there we go. He's got himself a fair amount of regen there. Liz Sash playing the Undying once again. And Supreme, looks like it is going to be a mid Timbersaw for him. Nisha will head there to try and zone him out a little bit. Offlane Magnus. Sasu. Okay, it's Observer down very quickly. So S4, wait, hang on a second. Aggro Trilane. Venomancer for Ake. Load of Juggernaut and Nuts on the Tusk heading up towards the top lane while Bulldog, no. S4's just going to come and get this rune, get his bottle as quickly as he can. So Bulldog's safe lane up against the Magnus. And you got the Dragonite mid. So nothing too surprising, nothing out of the ordinary. So yeah, guys, for those of you wondering, this is game number 2, 2-game series. We had a little bit of a break about, well, we had a hefty break. We had a 40-minute break between the games because we're gonna line up the games with the Danish TV schedule. So their time slot, 10:30 p.m. CEST. This is all broadcast live with Syndra and Milk over on Danish TV. These rune battles. Exotic Deer very aggressive up on this high ground, watching out for anyone from Alliance moving on in. S4 should get the trade-off though. Bot rune for him and top rune for Supreme on that Timbersaw. So what are they doing? Loader is up at top, but they're moving the Tusk down towards the bottom rune spot. And I don't know if this is just to safeguard the DK. I guess it was. Just move to safeguard the DK, get him his really uncontested rune, and then look to place your wards, because Dire have already got some down. Nice one up on this lane here. Watching for any movements in from the Tusk, because, you know, Tusk and Venomancer, if they smoke, if they move towards the middle lane, they could quite easily find a kill on the Timbersaw. 1 point in your timber chain is going to be good, but you know the range isn't amazing. You're going to be able to jump from like here to here, and that's it. If you're caught down in the river, you're screwed. You are going to take a chunk of damage, and then, potentially your lane's over. So things start off. Supreme is all green. He's got this funky green color going on this Timbersaw. Nature's Prophet down a bot against the Magnus. I think Bulldog should have a good time here. Sasu, even with a stout shield, he's going to get annoyed by the treants. Needs to regen himself up constantly. While S4 at mid, I'm kind of interested in this laning matchup. You know, Timbersaw, like I said, the damage output of Whirling Death, the strength decrease. And that reactive armor. Maybe he can control lane equilibrium enough to get his bottle quickly. Get himself into those rune spots as well and control the tempo of the lane. Which is really what you have to do against the Dragon Knight. Don't let him push into that tower once he hits level 6. Well, the most interesting lane, of course, is up at top. Aggro tri-lane against the anti-mage. Once again, Alliance, they know how to deal with AM. You stop him farming, you really give him a rough time. And they've already pulled across, controlling lane equilibrium, bringing it back to the tier 1 here. Loader gets himself a fair amount of last hits, 5 and 1, AM 4 and 1. They are dealing with an Undying, though. And Undying along with Visage are like the banes of aggressive tri-lanes. With a Decay, with the Tombstones, they can stack up damage and they can really make your life a living hell. So watch out for the magic sticks from Alliance. Once they get those up and running, there really is a big swing in power potential from these two lanes. Looks like S4 with his bottle already will get the first rune. And Supreme, come on, give him a bounty. No, Invis. That's not going to do too much for you. Fills the bottle, but doesn't give you too much utility. You're not going to be ganking onto this lane with a 2-0-1 build. And he should be able to get a bounty rune down to bot with the Timbersaw. He is faster, he is stronger. Who is he? The mighty Tonga. Sasu and power. He's got Shockwave and power. Up at top, Lissash. He's going to take a bit of damage here with the shards forward. Nuts is actually very aggressively pushing forward with a spin onto Lissash. He decays, he tombstones. He's going to die here with a poison sting out from Arke. A deny potentially? No, there's no Gale. And Loader doesn't get the last hit in. Splinter Blast, Exotic Deer. Oh, they're going to get first blood. They turn it back around and get the Venomancer. Team Alternate hold out and they salve up the Undying at the last second to make sure he doesn't die. Meanwhile, middle lane. That's 4, that damage output. The 2-1-1. Whirling Death crushing him a little bit. So, DK, he's pretty much even in farm with the Timbersaw here, but yeah, Nature's Prophet out farming, out laning this Magnus pretty heftily. 6 last hits for Sasu, even with the Empower. And you're looking at Admiral Bulldog, this is his hero, you know. Lone Druid, sure enough, but Nature's Prophet, that's all him. And it looks like it's going to be rushing into an Orchid as well. Get that Orchid up, kill off the Anti-Mage a couple of times, stop his Battle Fury, slow down his Manta progression as well. Interesting though that he hasn't gone for like Phase Boots or Orb of Venom or anything, because that really could dominate the lane up against the Magnus. Stop him from farming and really limit when he gets into his bottle, and you put a halt to the blink timing as well. Not just move towards the middle, looking for Supreme, but it's difficult for Supreme to find a kill this early on. Once he hits level 6, potentially he can try and find S4 with Chakram, Whirling Death, and things like that. But Supreme, this is the situation I'm talking about. One rotation in from the Tusk, and you find yourself in a position where you have to back up onto the ramp. You don't want to get caught in the river. If you get stunned, you get killed. Nuts is controlling runes here for him as well. S4, haste up at top, and this could be a kill rune. Run yourself up to the top lane. Maybe find an opening over onto the Winter Wyvern or the Undying, but looks like Arcane Loader playing relatively passively up at top. And the Bulldog, he's got his boots, and actually a very early magic wand. So with the Shockwave and Power spam, you know, it's fully reasonable. But he's got his ulti up now, and this is where things start to open up a little bit, because if you can TP Nature's Prophet up the top with a Tusk Snowball, a Gale, and then an Nature's Wrath bouncing across them, these heroes up here, especially the Winter Wyvern, are very, very easy pickoffs. Oh, look at that, Supreme! The damage into S4, and this is where you have to be a little bit worried as the Dragon Knight. Your armor means nothing against that massive, massive damage output from this little Timbersaw. And he's got his Arcane Boots, so I guess he's going to be heading into the pretty standard Bloodstone build. Bloodstone, going to the Boots of Travel, the Blink, things like that. Just give yourself mobility after you get the mana regen. And, oh, Loader. moves down to bottom lane. He's only level 3.5 actually. They need to give him some guaranteed farming time, so no surprises there as Bulldog TPs to base and will likely just move himself up to top. They probably stick the supports around, RK as well as Nuts. Maybe look for a kill with the Observer Ward down here, which is about to expire. And I missed the kill at middle lane, of course. Of course, bloody T-Tours. Bulldog, I was waiting for him to TP up the top, but they go towards middle lane, so Dragonite, there's his first level 6. Moving in onto this tier 1, TP out here from Undying, but walking in with a Tombstone, the damage output onto Lissash is pretty hefty. Zombies chasing, Arctic Burn will slow, and S4 has 4 stick charges, but it's not going to be enough. They'll chase him, they'll sprout him, and maybe it will be. There's no shockwave available. The Snowball comes back in, and Nut secures 1 and probably 2. Nisha, Cold Embrace, and Timbersaw. Okay, he'll secure his teammate here and make sure he doesn't die. But no mana on Sasu, no bottle charges, no arcanes. They lose the Undying as well as the Timbersaw. They don't really get anything in return. Loader, given some time down to bottom lane now, so 2-1. It's a lot more passive than the game number 1 was. Game number 1 was like 30-40 kills by 15 minutes. Just non-stop action, absolutely ridiculous stuff. But this game looks like Loader's a little bit more farm oriented, just wants to get into those key items, get into his level 6. Oh god. Right, time to switch on. That break has melted my brain. Supreme, he's already got 1 kill, but with the Sprout, the TP coming in from Bulldog, they can catch him here. Ulti goes out, Supreme jumps himself over onto the trees. Up onto high ground, still hits him though, and Bulldog, I'm not sure you can get yourself up onto this tusk as the turnaround comes in. Tombstone's dropped, but it's 100 gold for Bulldog, and a stun onto Nisha, you can Cold Embrace, and S4, you've got to be wary about the damage output of Supreme. Snowball forward onto this little Winter Wyvern, and Nisha, yeah, you're trapped down here. Easy takedown. Team Alternate trying to react to what Alliance are doing. It's a little bit difficult. Because now you've got RK in this offlane role. The Venomancer is dealing with the anti-mage. That's the scary part. Your support hero is contesting AM's farm. Like, okay, yeah, he's farming up here, but it's being contested. He's got a salve. He's got to get himself a ring of health as quickly as he can. But you're getting levels on the Venomancer, the biggest thing. You'll get an early level 6, get into, you know, your points in Gale, get into that poison over a little bit faster. But he's going for the wards build. Get the wards going. Tier 1 tower mid goes down. And this is the thing. With the DK, the Treants, the Plague Wards, you could push so heavily into these towers. Rotating up the top already. S4's hasted. Half duration left on this dragon form, and they know what they want. Exotic tier hides away in the trees, but they just want to kill the tier 1s. They just want tower after tower. This AM, oh god, he's going to get stunned up if they can find him. S4, no, he blinks himself to the west, and he looks like he's okay for now, but Nisha's not. Stunned up, killed off, can Cold Embrace at the last second. But this should be his demise. As the Tombstone's taken out, Nisha, oh, still surviving. As Bulldog has actually changed targets, going in for Ellis Sash. There's a Sprout, but there's a Decay ready with stick charges as well. He can keep himself alive as the Wyvern dies at the back. Sasu gets the RP onto Bulldog. And with the Nature's Wrath, he'll bounce the damage around, but he's still going to go down. Gale onto Exotic Deer and Sasu as well. Trapped both of them in the shards. Supreme's on his way up, though. But this is the plan. Damage towers, take towers. Okay, there's no stuns to stop him. Lissash is TP'd in. S4, this is a little bit ballsy. You've got multiple people coming in from the side. It's Supreme as well. With a Chakram, S4's dead. Even with his 3 stick charges, this should be his death. Supreme Chakram again. Yeah, not gonna miss this one. Whirling Death to secure. But again, the contest. 4 heroes up the top to deal with a little push in. They kill off the Dragon Knight. But down a bottom lane, all of a sudden Bulldog's like, right, well, a free laner bot. Loader, let's do this. Tier 1 tower. Easy as pie. And that's 2,200 gold on Loader. With a tier 1 mid. And now the tier 2 at bottom lane. There's a glyph available. Disconnect out from the game. Of course, it wouldn't be a game of Dota 2 without some disconnects. But you've got tier 1s, you've got a ton of gold, you've got free farming Loader now who's caught up significantly. Level 7, not too far behind the AM, about a level or so. What's that, 1,000 experience, something like that? Yeah, not too far behind. But with the gold income you're getting, wait, is he Midas? No, Yasha. Interesting. So before phase, before treads, going straight into the Yasha. So I'm guessing the SNY build, Manta style would be okay. here, but you're worried about it. You know, you're worried about the illusions just getting cleared out by Splinter Blast and Timbersaw chucking his stuff around as well. Oh, interesting. Just been let know on Twitter that S4 actually played Timbersaw not too long ago. A couple of hours ago. So S4's been on the Timber train. Interesting, interesting. Well, S4 going into the drums after treads. Just pad out his stats a little bit. Now, Arcane, I guess Arcane's mech into Greaves wouldn't be too bad, but you know, something like a Midas for your Venomancer is not awful either. The Rushed Blink, pretty good. But Mana Sustain with the Arcanes only on the tusk so far. Oh god, they snowballed in. Tombstone is down, but the stun into Eldritch Sash. The Cold Embrace is forced out here. And they're going to retreat. Nuts is stuck. And I think they're going to look for S4 afterwards. Yep, Nisha, he's going to get taken down by Bulldog. But S4, look at the damage output from that little old Timbersaw. S4 dead to the tower. Bulldog TPs himself away. They get 1 kill on the Wyvern, but that time not worth it. No real damage onto the tier 1 tower. And they don't get a trade-off elsewhere. Exotic Deer, he's empowered up, he's clearing down treants, he's killing off creep waves. And now he's been able to stop Loda's farm. So the contest being great from Team Alternate in the past couple of minutes. Tier 1 top gets denied, and that's gold limited up against Alliance. They're not going to get that massive swinging start. And it looks like Arcade's just going to be spending his gold all on observe wards and smokes and the support items like that.
Radiant's top tower
And with the smoke, we'll make a move into the enemy jungle. But they're going to have to wrap around on the Timbersaw. There's no one really in the jungle. There's Sasu's Magnus. If he moves himself east, he's going to be in a ton of trouble. But he's just farming down medium, large, small camps over to the west. And Alliance, I don't see anything. There's no stacks here. There's nothing to steal. There's nothing to... Oh, there is. There's a small stack. Medium camp is stacked up a little bit. So I'll tell a lie. Tell a lie. I don't really have a good way of clearing through this large stack, though. Without the level 2 dragon form. Oh, do they? Level 3 ice shards? They're going to go for it anyway. They're going to go for it anyway. Team Alternate. They've got no idea this is happening. Observe Ward will scout out as well, watching for any movements up. And they'll be able to wrap around on the Undying and the Timbersaw. Just a matter of time. Creep wave's coming in, so they've got to make their move soon. S4, yep, there we go. Moves forward. No dragon form for 4 seconds or so, so they're going to have to start right now. Timber Chain across, Nisha. Tombstone is down, but the Winter Wyvern already screwed by the damage output of Alliance. And the Blade Fury, they'll secure that one over on the side. Bulldogs come in with a Sprout. He'll block this Ash, but good chains, good dwelling Death Chakram there. Coming out, Supreme slows them, kills off the Sprout. And the advance is on, as Tusk kills off the Undying on the side. Supreme. Chains. Snowball's gonna get in there with Admiral Bulldog. Sprout available, holds him in place, and Supreme, you can chains all you want. Oh, no, he misses it! He doesn't get down to the low ground!
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Did he go between the trees? But they know there's an observer ward here now. They know for sure. But that is so unfortunate. His chain missed. Tragic stuff. Tier 2 drops. Anti-Mage and the Magnus. You know, Magnus up to 2,100 gold. Anti-Mage now. Battle Fury is about 1,000 gold away. But what are we looking at for Alliance? You know, their item progression hasn't been that amazing. Bulldog's the one at the top of the net worth chart, and his Orchid, you know, that's going to be the key pivotal item here for Alliance. If they can get the anti-mage locked down, if they can get a few kills in this AM just before, or you know, just after, as he picks up that Battle Fury, that's the vital timing for him. You know, we often hark on about anti-mage needs to get his Battle Fury like by 15-60 minutes at the latest, and that's where you're really looking at things. 20 minutes, it's long gone. That's when your farming time is really stagnated and stalled up. But if you can kill him when he gets the Battle Fury, because you pretty much know that he's got it now. You can stop the Vlads, the Manta style. You really do ruin his day, because that's a ton of gold invested into an AM who needs to continue farming. They'll actually look for Sasu here. With the Orchid out, Snowball forward. He does get embraced up and should be able to skewer himself away, and Blink has already been purchased. So Bulldog, Orchid revealed, and they don't make anything out of this. But the push continues. There's no tier 2 tower here for Alternate to defend, so they'll just go split pushing. They'll spread across. Exotic Deer goes up to top, and he'll get himself closer and closer to the Battle Fury while down the bottom lane. Supreme needs to finish the Bloodstone. He desperately needs to get into this item.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Sprout, Supreme, he's out. Maybe they can actually catch him here. S4 pops Dragon Form with the Orchid. There, they've got him. That's stopping this Timbersaw from snowballing, and Timbersaw without items is not an amazing hero. He can do a ton of damage for sure, but it's the sustained damage that you really are lacking, as Nisha now is caught by S4. Sasu could blink RP this, but there's no follow through. There's no damage output. Without an anti-mage, without a Timbersaw, there's nothing really they can do to jump. Like, look at this, they're all clumped up. This is a perfect, like, 5-man RP up there, but top is where Exotic Deer is caught. There's a stun. No, there isn't. It's Lodo TP's in before S4. If the Dragon Knight had TP'd in beforehand, that AM was dead. There, he was screwed. Unfortunate timing, Alliance. They were so desperate for the anti-mage kill, the calls were coming. I've got him, I've silenced him. There's nothing to stop him from just TPing out. Interesting. Bulldog goes in for this one, and that's a dead anti-mage. From top lane to bot lane, AM thought, I'm safe, I'm good. But the rotations from Alliance are non-stop, incessant destruction from them. Sasu is hiding himself up on that little cliff, but not the greatest position to be in. They need Supreme. They need him to go and defend his bottom tier too. If you can get, again, if you can get this RP into Winter's Curse, into all the damage output from the Timbersaw, you can take down a couple of heroes from Alliance. I'm not saying you're going to be able to team wipe them completely. Depends on the positioning. I mean, S4, he's tanky. But Whirling Death, if you get that pure damage onto him, oh man. Minox can try and save with his little snowball. Nice shards. Winter's Curse to turn things back as Loda's caught, but he spins to victory. Just going for the tier 2 tower here. Supreme's looking. He wants to go back in. Nuts. Very deep behind enemy lines, but oh, Lissash dead. He's gone. RP Silent. Oh, Bulldog charges up the Magnus before he can RP, and Omnislash comes through. Loda clears up too with the help of Bulldog and Nisha. Nothing left to give. 3 dead with no buyback. They're pushing up to tier 3. Arcade with the level 4 wall, just pushing forward further and further forward with the stuns through. Supreme, he can chains away, but he's dead to the dots, the stings, the poisons, and the anti-mage. Hide in your fountain. Alliance, 17 minutes in, they've had enough with a 30-minute break, a 17-minute game. They're taking tier 3s, they're taking racks, there's nothing to stop them. The Treants and the Plague Wards cruising to victory here for Alliance. Exotic Deer anti-mage once again. Game number 1, same kind of story. Game number 1, he got like a 22-minute Battle Fury and things looked rough. This game, you know, 15-minute Battle Fury, but where does he farm, honestly? Alliance are all over this map. They're pushing in everywhere. There's nowhere safe. The Alliance Death Ball has returned. Oh, they've still got the chance for that big wombo combo. The big RP. Into the Timbersaw damage output. Nisha, a little bit low in the old item progression. 1400 net worth, 1800 over on the Undying, and you look at the top 6 heroes, and what do you see? Green, 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 golden green. There's Admiral Bulldog, 9.5 thousand with his Shadow Blade done now. Nuts with what, Mech Arcanes? Bloody hell. And Arcane. Didn't go for Blink, didn't go for a stupid Midas, of course not. No, you want to finish this game early. Veil, and now into the Aghanim Scepter. He's got himself Arcanes for the sustain as well as S4. So they've got double Shadow Blades now. Initiation tools completely available for alliances. This Tusk and Dragon Knight. Tier 3 tower. Wild Wing Tornado flying across. Loader with SNY Dominator and level 2 Dragon Form. Oh, for S4. In for, oh no. Sasu again. Bulldog is just on the bloody mark with these silences. Loader's caught in the Winter's Curse, but it's not going to kill him off. They kill the Tombstone instead. Lissash slowed by the tornado and he's on the retreat out. Anti-mage can't go into farm and Loader's dropping low. He's got his healing ward through. As Nuts goes in, they kill off the Undying, and this looks like it's game. Nisha's destroyed, Exotic Deer silenced, Magic Sleep charges not gone, buyback available. It's going to be forced here, but GG's coming surely. 2 lanes of racks, team alternate. crushed by Alliance. And in some style as well. Not the trees. GG well played is called 2-0 to Alliance. That was quick. That was bloody quick. He is faster. He is stronger. Who is he? He's the bloody Donga. That's who he is. Pre-20 minute GG. Pre-20 minutes GG. Alliance 2-0 team alternate there, and that's it for tonight. The defense continues tomorrow, I believe, at 6:30 p.m. CEST. We've got more D2CL as well. Oh my goodness. Well, I've been Durka. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the game. We had a cracker NIP earlier on today, but Team Liquid 2-0 them, 2-0 here for Alliance, and that's it. That's it. Storming victories all around. But yeah, we're back tomorrow, guys. So tune in 6:30 p.m. CEST again. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Dire team